Sometimes we share things about ourselves that are sensitive, right? They're sensitive. And we don't know how the information may be misused, but it's kind of important information. Um, so recently, there is an activist. She's on Facebook for me too. She's on my Facebook friends list, but she's also on my Twitter feed. And she was getting so severely harassed by the People's Party bullshit people, Dr. Discourse, right? Who has been stalking activists in the movement. He's been stalking people. And he's been creating like file folders and shit. He probably has one on me. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't care. I block all you motherfuckers. I don't fucking care. I block all you motherfuckers. Um, he's been creating file folders and like stalking everybody's social media. I don't know what your point is, like how you think that's gonna fucking help you. He came after her so severely. Her father was dying. I think her father passed away actually. And he created like a faux fundraiser for her dad and shit. He was, oh, dude, you guys. That on top of like me recently discovering that Karen Burnell had her husband and her father fucking stalking my social media. Um, so this happened to me in 2018. This is what happened in 2018. And this is why a lot of you fellas, you think you can just like, whatever. Okay, so in 2018, I was a big girl. I already said this, right? I already did a live stream about this. I was a big girl. I weighed 210 in April of 2018. And I was so severely harassed that year through Tim Johnson and his network of fucking fools. I was so severely harassed that I dropped 60 pounds by the end of the year. I dropped 70 pounds by the next year. Like I went from 210 to 140. For the most part, I've kept it off. I fluctuate like 10 pounds here and there. I fluctuate a little bit, because I'm a woman and I do have menstrual cycles. But I dropped a serious amount of weight in the 2018-2019 cycle. Dropped a serious amount of weight. And it was entirely due to the stress of how I was being harassed, stalked, pursued, physically intimidated. Entrances were being blocked. Sign-in sheets were being blocked. Dude was trying to get like physically close to me at all these events, like stand like right next to me up at these events and stuff. I had to take him to court. I got hate mail with fecal matter in it from one of his buddies. Had to take him to court. We went into mediation. We got a stipulation agreement. And then he decided that didn't really mean anything and he kept violating it anyway. He still does. Still does. And there are leaders throughout the progressive movement that help him do it. That are like, yeah, whatever. We don't believe the stipulation agreement really matters. We're not going to apply our harassment policies to anything because we don't think this stipulation agreement pertains to anything. You literally have harassment policies and you... What ended up happening, okay, so I dropped 70 pounds. I dropped 70 pounds. I want you to really wrap your head around that. About how scary that is. For somebody who weighed 210 to drop 70 pounds in a year. That's almost half of my body weight that I dropped because of the shit that he was doing to me. And he was leading that effort. He was leading that harassment effort. I, at the same time, was dealing with people who I thought were my inner circle, people who I thought were like my allies. One of those people was Lily Starling. And I told her how much pain I was in. I told her how much pain I was in. And that I was starting to have suicidal thoughts. I told her this. And instead of being helpful and consoling, she instead took that information and used it against me. She took that information, used it against me to call me crazy and tell me to get out of politics. Lily Starling is one of the most horrible fucking people I've ever met in my goddamn life. I'm just telling you that straight up right now. I confided in her that I was in so much pain, I was considering suicide. And she fucking flipped that shit on me, you guys. She flipped that shit on me. That's why I ended up totally canning her. That's why I'm out. That is why she is no longer on my friends list. She is one of the most insincere people I've ever fucking met. One of the most insincere people I have ever fucking met. I almost lost my life in 2019, you guys. I almost lost my life. And she practically egged that shit on. Anyway, point being, there are some really fucking crazy people in politics that are willing to do whatever they can to drive you insane, to do everything they can to cause you as much pain as possible to try and get you out, to try and convince you not to participate anymore, to give up your seat at the table, to try and convince you to go away. They want you to go away. That's what they want you to do. And they pose themselves as progressives. Progressives don't do that bullshit. You can't be progressive while at the same time trying to cause that much pain to people. You can't. You are not progressive if you're trying to cause that much pain for people. That's insane. I mean, that's fucking insane. The sort of shit that Lily Starling, Karen Burnell, Katrina Bergstrom, Lauren Steiner, all of these motherfuckers. I know I'm naming women, but there's a lot of men who do it too. Obviously, I've already thrown some man names out there. There are so many. Okay, so I have this friend. Who's a chef. I took her to one Depop meeting. Because she had recently lost her job, and I'm like, okay, why don't you come, bring your business cards, because they do a lot of fundraisers, right? And you might be able to get like some events where you can like do some catering for these events. I bring her into Depop, and I don't even know who that dude was. But he had a fascination with dropping the N-word. And he was doing it in the context of saying, this one politician is so horrible because he keeps saying the N-word. But he kept saying it over and over again. Like, he had like this weird fascination of like repeating what the guy said, which to us obviously meant, well, obviously you want to say the N-word and you just want to like subject us to this over and over again. Some of the most crazy fuckers get involved in politics. People who are trying to get their jollies out by doing bad things, but like switching the context up. So it looks like that they're complaining about the bad things, but they're really partaking in the bad things. I might have to find a new hobby, you guys. I might have to find a new hobby. I don't know if I can keep doing this. I really want to. I want to change the world, but at the same time, I'm so disappointed in all of you. I'm so disappointed in all of you motherfuckers at this point. I almost lost my life in 2019. I almost lost my life in 2019, y'all.